Hey, welcome to our weekly University of Rio Grande, Ohio State University Center's collaboration podcast show. We're here at the University of Rio Grande TV studio. Not only are we doing live internet radio with Blogtalk Radio, but also live TV on the Rio Educational Access channel. Our podcasts are archived, and our TV broadcast is placed on YouTube for viewing and listening again. You know, our mission is simple: to promote the University of Rio Grande and its diverse educational programs, promote the Ohio State University South Centers and its many business technology programs, and finally, promote Southern Ohio, a great place to live, learn, enjoy life to the fullest. Co-hosts are Jason Winters, Director of the Center for Small Business Entrepreneurship, as well as Mike Thompson, Instructional Design and Media Services Director, both with the University of Rio Grande, along with Patrick Dengel, Business Development Specialist, and Kimberly Roush, Program Assistant, both with the Ohio State University South Centers. Today we are featuring Bradley Altier, who is a student, a president of the Alpha Sigma Phi fraternity, as well as student senator, and I have to find out what that is, what that's about, with the University of Rio Grande. Brad is a chemistry student who enjoys college life, fraternity service, and in particular benefits that many people, such as the Live Strong benefit on March 24th, that assists cancer charities. You know, Mike Thompson is a fraternity advisor here, aren't you, Mike?
Yes.
And that's with the, what fraternity is that, Mike?
Tau Kappa Epsilon, Rho Pi chapter.
And that's a teak?
Yeah, that's, everybody's teak, and yours
Sigs.
Alpha Sigs.
Oh, Alpha Sigs.
Yeah.
And just out of curiosity, which fraternity is better?
Not to be modest, but Alpha Sig all the way.
Depends on the measure.
We're both good at a lot of different things.
Oh, very good.
One may be good at something, but we could be good at something. It's a back and forth game.
We're a larger fraternity. It's national, and they are national too.
They are a little bigger. I will give them that.
Hey, and some of the, at least one of the sororities here on campus is.
No, they're all local.
Yeah,
they're all local.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think ours is the only national, isn't it?
Well, us two groups are the only nationals out of the 9.
Well, see, when I was going to undergraduate school, there were 2 reasons why I was not involved in a fraternity. First of all, I was afraid that I would get blackballed, and second of all, we didn't have any fraternities.
Okay.
So I wasn't involved with that. Mike, tell us a little bit about Brad.
I don't know. He's a sketchy kind of guy. No, go ahead, Brad. Tell us where you're from and a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, to start with, I'm from Corning, Ohio, which is about halfway between Zanesville and Athens on State Route 13. Small town, used to be big in coal mines. It's mainly oil and gas companies in the area. Went to Miller High School, graduated in 2007, and then I ended up here in Rio Grande that fall in 2007.
So why did you choose Rio Grande? Did we come get you and put you on the truck, or what?
No, actually, I originally planned on going to Muskingum, and I went up there for a visit and went around, and it looked nice. It's a smaller college. I like the smaller college atmosphere because my high school, I graduated with 69 people. So very small high school. Our high school altogether had 250-some people, which is real tiny. So then I came down to Rio for a visit, and I was walking around. There's some cows over here. There's a hayfield, and it was just, there's a lot of real royal, very small. Seemed real personalized, like there was a lot of one-on-one with the teachers and students. And then on top of that, they offered me a decent scholarship for the ATT scores, so they kind of beat Muskingum out. And on top of that is I got to keep my job, one of my jobs, if I came to Rio. So
what's one of your jobs?
I pump oil. I take care of oil wells for my uncle, and then I work at Kroger's, and I'm a lab assistant at here at the university.
So did you find those things to be true when you came to Rio Grande, the small personalized service?
Very true. Right now, my class size is 4 people. My freshman year, the largest class size I had was 30 kids. You go to OU, if you go to Ohio State, if you go to Ohio Wesleyan, West Virginia Wesleyan, Cincinnati, any of these schools you go to, you're talking hundreds. 300, 400 kids in a freshman class. Rio had 30, and we thought that was large. So and then on top of that is I can go to my teacher and ask a question. In these larger schools, you go to the teacher's assistant, which is a grad student. At Rio, you just walk in their office, and they're more than happy to help.
So why did you pick chemistry?
Well, originally I wanted to be a science teacher. I wanted to teach, help kids. I did some tutoring when I was in high school for a multi-disability classroom in the middle school, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed just seeing the students' faces when they got something accomplished, and then I was the one helping them. It's just a satisfying feeling. So I started education, and then I realized chemistry, there's a lot more opportunities in the straight chemistry field. I enjoy chemistry. I love science. I love the hands-on feeling in the laboratory and all those aspects. And then money, I mean, you're going to be making good money as a chemist, so that kind of helps.
What's your dream job?
My dream job? 2 things. Working in a polymer factory, making like Tupperware or like Ziploc baggies or something like that, or working in a oil refinery as a chemist.
Mm-hmm.
So
do they need chemists in oil fields?
Oh yes, oh yeah. There's 14 different grades of oil, crude oil, and one of the big is Pennsylvania grade, which is in this area. And they take them to the refineries and they separate them by grade. Some refineries will take different grades, and then it's the chemist's job to find out what process needs to refine the oil, and then therefore separate into what products need. A different type of oil is needed for making tires than a plastic bag or styrofoam plates. 2 different types of crude oil.
Oh, that's rather interesting. You know a lot about the new technology, fracking?
It's not really new. Fracking's been going on for a while. Some of the processes they're using for these larger companies that deal with the shell, that's a different level than what we deal with. But they've been fracking since my grandpa started when he was 8. He's 77, and he's told me they've always fracked. So it's just at a larger scale with these big companies they're using. So.
Okay, how did you find the chemistry department here? I know you like the small class size.
Oh, it's amazing because here at the University of Rio Grande, the chemistry program is researched. It's based around research. To graduate, we have to do a research project, which my project will be with Dr. Jacob White. We're doing a project on snapping turtles, and based on Southeast Ohio, how much lead's in the snapping turtles in this area, and we don't know exactly what we're going to get into that based on, we got to look at the levels.
Where would they be picking up lead?
Everywhere. Bodies naturally gather lead. It's just our bodies gather heavy metals.
So is that why I weigh more now than I used to?
No, that's not it. No.
No, it's gravity. Gravity is pushing your stomach down, and that's getting heavier.
But what it is bioaccumulation of lead in the snapping turtles. We're going to measure, and it could be based on age. Older turtles could have more. Younger turtles, it all depends where you find them. One thing I was thinking about was not too long ago they started regulating bird shot for foul water hunting because they've always used lead shot. Mm-hmm. But those lead BBs fall down in the water and they stay there. They don't go anywhere. So the lead just leaches continuously into the water. So there's different aspects you have to look at. Turtles do travel, so that's why we're going all over Southeast Ohio, because a turtle can travel from several counties in no time. They move pretty good distances.
They do move? Is
Yes.
that yearly, or is that just...
They hibernate in the winter, but when they're up, I've seen turtles, they just travel from water source to water source, just depending on what suits their needs, food-wise, for laying their eggs.
I just kind of assumed that, this creek is their home and that's it.
No, actually, they love to travel. I've seen them. I've been in doing hay with a friend, and there'll be a turtle out in the middle field, and there's not a pond or stream for miles, and they're just traveling to the next water source.
Yeah, there's been some weekends I've been out on the motorcycle, and there's little box turtles and all kinds of them crossing the road. There's been a couple times where
I pick snapping turtles
everywhere.
up off the side of the road all the time. It's an easy way to get them.
So if you're testing these turtles, how are you getting them? Are you doing what they call...
We're legally... through we've already cleared it with the High Department and everything of wildlife. Yeah, we cleared it. Turtle jug. You take a milk jug, you label it with your name, your address, and you put a hook and string on it with a bait. Put it in a pond, and you sit there. And turtle or catfish tend to get them sometimes. Turtles, they'll go up, take the bait, and then you go take your jug, and there's a turtle. You can sit there at the fishing pool. You can do a landline. You can do a free floating device. We jug, milk jugs, water jugs.
Okay, I was just hoping you weren't like noodling.
I don't noodle. No, I'm not that crazy. My uncle noodled.
Real men do that.
No, that's funny.
You got my curiosity. What is noodling?
Where you walk through the creek and these turtles go into the bank under the water. And you basically just walk down the creek and you put your hands in these holes underwater and you feel around to make sure you've got the tail and you jerk them out.
Yeah.
And they're snapping turtles. If you've got the wrong end, you could lose a finger.
Yeah. Number one rule, you stick your hand in that hole. You don't stick your hand back in that hole because that turtle's going to turn around. It knows you're coming back in after it, and that's a good way to get bit. I've seen many people get... I'm not going to lie. I'd rather just throw a milk jug in the water. I'm not going to stick my hand up in a hole and try to miss a finger.
Yeah.
So,
well, you both of you are a lot braver than I.
Usually, noodling has beverages involved of some sort, so I just tend to stick with the milk jugs.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if we covered it. Why did you get? We've got you coming here. Why did you get involved with a fraternity?
Well, my first semester here. I made a lot of friends. I constantly talked to people. I just went up to strangers and started conversations, but I still had that missing sense of home. The first time I was away from home for a long time, I really missed my parents and grandparents. I never got to go home. I think my first semester here at Rio, I went home twice, and those are days I had off from work because I worked 7 days a week. So there was just that sense of home that was missing, and I really needed something to fill that gap. And I started hanging out with some of the guys from Alpha Sig, and I realized, hey, this isn't Grandma and Grandpa, but it's kind of filled in that gap there because hung out, did everything together, and it was just a new level of friends. And I realized I could join, so I decided to pledge, and now.
How do you, for those people who don't know, how do you join a fraternity?
Well, first off, you just hang out with them, get to know them. Then there's a process called Rush Week where the fraternity or sororities do it the same. They have an event where you go and you just mingle, talk. They usually have some food, pop, just hang out. We play video games and shoot pool. And then you just get to know them. And then you gather their information. Then the following week we have invite, and that's where the fraternity invite people to come out to an event, and then we talk fraternity stuff like, hey, this is what we're about, this is what we do.
You kind of interview them to see if that's somebody that you think would fit.
Yeah, because I mean, the fraternity is a group of friends and we're a group of guys, but we also see ourselves as a small business. We do a lot of charity, we do a lot of fundraisers, and we have fun, and we really enjoy what we do and hanging out together. But there's certain aspects and quality we look in people. We want to make sure they're a hard worker, they got a good head on their shoulders, good quality people.
Yeah, a lot of people may think that being in a fraternity is just about parties and drinking too much and debauchery and all that kind of stuff. And I know there's getting less of that over the years. I mean, there's always going to be a party, but it is a business, and you run it as a business because you have a lot of things that you want to put money towards. You're raising money for yourself and whatever charities you're associated with. So you've got marketing, you've got the finance aspect of it, planning, if you're going to put on a big dance, then, you've got to figure out your food, where it's going to be. There's just a lot of different things that have to be done. And you have to make money at it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very entrepreneurial.
So what is the difference between the teak and the Alpha Sigs? Does it have to do with the coursework that you're involved with?
No,
it's just a separate organization.
Each organization may attract a different person, right? Just like he said, he was hanging around those guys, and he hung around, I guess, with the teaks for a little bit,
mm-hmm.
and found out that, I fit better with these people rather than those people. And I know with the teaks, you can't say that there is a profile, right? We're kind of all inclusive. It's, you've got, sometimes fraternities get cliquey. This is the upper crust rich kids, or this is the gamers got people, and there may be different profiles, but it tends to be around here, because we're kind of small, more where you fit, what group of friends you fit with and you feel comfortable with. I mean, they're basically operated the same. There's not a lot of difference in that, but just who you want to be around.
Yeah. And
not a lot of difference in philosophy, but
no.
I think if you looked at the constitutions and stuff like that,
there would be some difference.
You would find some differences,
mm-hmm.
especially at the national level.
And you are the president of the Alpha Sigma Phi fraternity.
Yeah. Yes, I am.
And how did you?
How'd you trick them into doing that?
It was like I dropped the hat and then I scooped all my name back in there. No, I'm joking. Well, it started out when I first joined. I wanted to be involved. I didn't join the fraternity just to say, "Hey, I'm in a fraternity." I joined because I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to do good. Because our motto is to better the man, and I was like, you know what? I'm part of this. I might as well better myself. And I thought I was already good, but I wanted to see how good I could get. So I joined, and I took a role of different positions. At first, I was a alumni director. Then I went to scholarship, which was like study tables, making sure grades are good, keep a check on GPAs. And then from there, I went to treasurer, and I love treasurer. I love dealing with money. If it was up to me, I'd sit with a pile of quarters and just count all day and stack them and just have fun.
So in other words, you want all the viewers and listeners to send you quarters.
So that'd be great. You send me bags of quarters, and you'd be my favorite. So, and then after that, I went vice president, and I seen the political side, and I realized fraternity. It's a lot of grunt labor, but there's a lot of PR behind it too. A lot of public relations. A lot of people don't see, and.
Say if something goes wrong, somebody in your fraternity gets accused of something.
They can call the president in. And
then the organization has to go on a big, defense campaign or something.
Yeah, and a lot of times people don't realize this, and it may not even be a massive issue. It could be something real little, but the president is the one they look at. I'm the face of the fraternity. When people see Alpha Sigma Phi, they see me as the president, and if something good goes wrong, everybody takes credit and everything, but if something bad goes wrong, which we're not saying bad stuff does go wrong.
You say good goes wrong. You mean
good goes right. Sorry, right. Something good happens. But if something were to a mishap would occur, I get nailed to the floor because it's my organization and the administration sees it that way. It's not all the state. They call the president in. He's the public relation guy. He's the face. Same way with any organization. The CEO or the president, they're the face of that company. If something goes wrong, they don't bring the accountant in on TV to explain the problem. They bring the CEO or the president in, and they're the ones that discuss everything.
So in this, you've gotten an education not only in chemistry, but in the finance and marketing and relations and leadership.
Oh, yeah.
So if you were to just sit in your room and play video games, you would miss a lot of that. And there's another thing that also comes into play too, is networking. You can put the letters on your car, and you might park your car in a parking lot and run into somebody who's like, "Hey, I'm a teak also. You know, I was at this college, and you have this instant bond and brotherhood with this person that you'd never met, but you all probably have gone through similar experiences.
Well, you know, that sort of reminds me of some of the business organizations, such as the Rotary,
Mm-hmm.
The JCs. There's a
Lions Club,
the Lions Club,
Masons,
and
Shriners.
there always seems to be a good working relationship within the members throughout the country,
Mm-hmm.
and so a fraternity is similar to that. Then it's a relationship, but also it's some work.
Mm-hmm. It's a business.
And you also had mentioned in your bio that you were a student senator.
Yes,
What
I am.
is a student senator?
Well, they have a student government here on campus, and student senate, and well, really, the Greeks, we don't have representation, or we didn't. We feel that we're a decent portion of the student body. We help influence. We try to do a lot of stuff here for the university and for the community as 9 organizations, and we felt that we needed a seat on Senate to voice our opinion, to stay, what would you say, together with all the other organizations. So I stepped up and I decided, hey, I'll run for that student senate position if the AGC is okay with that, and they were. So now I'm a student senator, but I represent not only all students, but I represent the AGC Council, which is all Greek Council. So...
And the administration, I would think, should be friendly towards Greek organizations, because the more a student feels a part of the university or a part of an organization, the more likely they'll stay here. And I've heard that from a lot of our alumni. You know, I was thinking about transferring. I got involved with the TEAC organization. And, you know, I really just fit in, and, okay, I just might as well just finish my degree here.
I can be a perfect example of that because, like I said, my first semester here, even though I had tons of friends and I knew almost everybody that lived on campus, I still missed my family. I missed Corning. I wanted to go home. I never could get a chance. And it ran through my, even though I loved Rio, it ran through my mind, I could probably suffer through it and try OU or go to Hawking and just get some 2-year technical degree. Even though what I wanted to do was here, I missed my family that much where I'm thinking, we're just so family-oriented back home. But the fraternity, they really helped me stay here. Once I joined the fraternity and realized, I gotta make a new part of my life here. And they're really what fraternity, I'd have to say, about 85% of why I stayed in Rio.
Okay, we've got a little more than 5 minutes. What can you tell us about this Live Strong event coming up? Is it March?
It's March 24th this year, 2012. Through Nationals, they are national for the headquarters, and Carmel, Indiana teamed up with the Live Strong charity for testicular cancer, and now we're partnered with them. And they talked to us chapters the last time we all got together at our President's Academy, that they wanted each chapter to try to do something for Livestrong. So we've been wanting to do it for a couple years, and it's just been hard to get together. And finally, we're in a position to hold an event like this. And what we're going to do is have a dodgeball tournament. Like I said, we said on March 24th, 2012. We're starting at like 9 a.m. It's going to go until it's over. And pretty much what it is, it's the women's going to have a tournament, and then the men's going to have a tournament. And we're accepting teams. It's $25 a team. Each participant gets a wristband. There's the cash prizes. I'm thinking is $150 for first place, $100 for second, and $50 for third, both for men and women. And then, with all the profit that we make off this, all the money is going to cut a check straight to Livestrong, and that's going to be we're trying to raise money for them, their awareness.
That is fantastic.
Well, thank you.
And I since this is your first,
It
the
is.
first of many, how many teams are you looking to
I'm
have?
hoping to get anywhere between 30 and 50.
30 and 50 teams
Yes.
of 5?
Of 5, yes. And we're reaching out to not only here at the university, but outside the university. High schools, people that are midlife crisis, wanting to relive their college experience, come out and play dodgeball. That's great. I'm even looking at chapters from other schools to come out. I'm hoping all 9 organizations and AGC put a team out for us. It's just, and it's not so much we're not trying to make gobs of money, but we're just wanting to do something good and have fun at it. A dodgeball tournament, it's exciting. It's just a good time, and if we can turn around and help the Livestrong charity through that's where our goal is.
I think that one of the teams should be the fraternity advisors. I think they should be the number one team on there. So perhaps you can.
I think the fraternity advisors would have a good team. I mean, you got some athletic people on that team. I mean,
we just hate to dominate everything.
Hey, you know what?
It just wouldn't be fair.
But if there are other individuals out on the listening area that think they can beat the fraternity advisors, then there's a small challenge there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we encourage anyone to set a team up. $25, not that much, and it's going to a good cause.
How many people do you need for a team?
It's five people per team, and that where it's $25 a team, so it's only $5 per person. Mm-hmm. Like I said, $1 of that gets you a wristband, and then the rest of it goes towards the event. So
okay, I'd like to speak to parents. You know, I don't know if you interview your pledges or prospects like we do. But we asked them, have you asked your parents about doing this? So, a lot of the parents I know have reservations of my child getting involved in a fraternity, because even at lunch I was reading this article about hazing and fraternities making them drink until they are almost dead of alcohol poisoning.
Never done that.
So, that's what I was going to say, is how do you see that here, at least on this campus?
I see it's not as bad on larger campuses, but I think that's because we are smaller. We try to talk to the parents. Parents automatically Animal House, which I've seen it. It's a great movie. I loved it. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, I don't know if that was the time period of when they would have been growing up, and that's why they see it that way. But parents tend to see the Animal House version of fraternities, and it's nothing like that. It really isn't. Mm-hmm. We do.
It's kind of a cartoon representation.
Yeah, and it's like it kind of gives us a bad rap, and we try to do everything we can to get our names good, and then they automatically Animal House, and it's like we're back at square one.
They're trouble.
Either that, or the parents remember when they were in fraternities.
Yes, and
I know from firsthand, we don't haze like that.
Oh no, not at all.
You know, hazing is against.
It's against
our.
The law.
You know, our nationals,
very so,
and with the university.
Yes, it's very strict on the hazing policy, mm-hmm. and we do not condone. I mean, we want nothing to do with hazing. Like I said, our motto is to better the man. We want to take a man and we want to build from there. We don't see the point of tearing them down and starting over, because work with what you're given. So that's how we look at it.
Well, the other nice thing is that on this particular campus, you do not have necessarily Greek houses.
No, we do not.
So oftentimes the social gatherings that you do have, it's from the different apartments that you live here on campus and things of that nature.
Okay, we have 1 minute.
60 seconds.
So, do you want to recap about the Livestrong event?
Sure, yes. Like I said, March 24th, 2012, we're having a dodgeball tournament. It is 5-person teams. It is $25 a team. Each member gets a wristband. We're starting at 9 in the morning, and it will be over whenever it's done. So we're looking probably 9 to 3 or something like that, depending on how many teams we get. If you're interested, please call 740-331-1595. That's my number. I'm the president. If you're interested, we can get you a team set up, get payment made.
What's that number again?
740-331-1595.
Okay, we have about 15 seconds.
Brad, want to thank you very much for being on our show. Next week we're having our one and only Jason Winters, who's going to be talking about the Meigs County and this small business entrepreneurship program. Then the next week will be John McHenry, bankruptcy lawyer. Thank you for listening. I'm Patrick.
I'm Mike.
I'm Bradley.
And thanks for watching.
Bye.